Oh, the joys of owning long wigs. I just got this wig, and it's been in a few pole dancing. Can you tell? It's been through a little bit. The one thing about long wigs, I've only owned one before for Yoji from Loveless, and that thing got destroyed pretty quick. This one, I'm realizing that you can just breathe wrong and your wig is tangled. So, lots of brushing. Also, there's my wig cap. The question that we've always asked, where's my wig cap? Well, there it is, in my wig. Good job, me. I don't know how some of these tangles actually happen. I've sometimes had the thought that there might be little gremlins living in our wig closet, and they just go around and knot your wig on purpose. I'm on to you, little wig gremlins. I'm on to you. I've always wondered how people are able to keep a long wig in the wind. There are some photo shoots that I've seen where I'm like, it had to have been windy that day. You can tell by the way their clothes are moving and whatnot in the photo shoot, and you're just like, how does their wig stay so perfect? Maybe a much higher quality, maybe real human hair wig. What's your preference? Do you like human hair wig? Because that seems like one a lot of people like. I do like how it looks, I just... and it kind of creeps me out. I'm not saying it's wrong, just saying it creeps me out a bit of, oh, this is not my head of hair. This is somebody else's head of hair that I'm now using for somebody else, a character. The world is so strange. Yeah, it's not the highest quality in the entire universe. I could get higher quality, but the thing is, it's gonna be on this pole. That's what the character is they're gonna be on this pole quite often, and I didn't want to spend tons of money on something that I know will be tangled and will be put through hell. But for the price that I paid, I'm uber happy with the quality, and actually very shocked at the quality for the price. In our new series, we are going to be talking about wig care, so I'm not going to go into a whole lot of it here, other than just maintenance! Maintenance is a thing. Fun story about a wig. Beginner mistake. We've all had them. One of the very first quality wigs I bought was a short black wig for Ritsuka from Loveless. Obsessed with that anime, I sure was. And I really wanted to be Ritsuka, and I wanted to have a really nice wig. So I saved up my hard-earned teenage dollars of birthday money and Christmas money. And then the day finally came. I go on eBay with some money, and I go, oh, look at that wonderful wig. The picture that they had was of a person cosplaying Ritsuka, and their wig looked da bomb. And I was going, I need that wig. That was the exact hairstyle. Everything was correct. So I purchased the wig. Finally, weeks later, I get it in the mail, and I'm super excited, and I find out that when you buy a wig online, generally you're gonna get a base wig. That is not what they showed in their picture. No, it was not. They showed a fully cut and styled wig on a person's head that looked exactly like the character. That's not what I received in the mail. I received an uncut wig. Beginner mistake. Okay. Well, I'd also never cut hair before. I took regular scissors to that wig and tried to make triangle points in the bangs, because most anime characters' bangs have little triangle points. And that's what I needed. So I cut a ginormous triangle into the center of that wig. I spent a good amount of money too, to butcher that wig the way that I did. Beginner mistake, yes. Well, whenever you cut unprofessionally or try to cut something that pointed, it didn't stay pointed. So we decided to put Elmer's glue in it. Oh boy. Bye-bye wig. Bye-bye wig. I had a giant mat in the center of my forehead. Beginner mistake. I learned from it. I learned, yes, anime hair actually is very difficult. Now, I have actually cut more wigs and feel a little more confident. KE also cuts wigs, so I feel very confident with her hair cutting abilities. I have no idea how she picked it up so fast. She just out of nowhere was like, you know, I would try to learn how to cut a wig, and man, she does really, really well. Do you guys have any, like, horror wig stories? Because, boy, do I have plenty of them. That's not my only mistake. I've been in this community now for, oh, lordy lordy, too many years. I feel really old. And let me tell you, I have learned a lot. Party store wigs, I thought, were the bomb. They're super, super cheap, and I was super thrilled. And you know, for what I was doing, because at that point in time, I really wasn't so much sharing my cosplay experiences online or anything. I did make some videos and post them online, and yeah, I can look back now and just be like, oh boy, that was a beginner's mistake. But I'm proud that I did it anyway, because it was a starting point. It was a stepping stone that I needed to take in order to get better. Had I never even tried, I would have never even got better. We never learned how to do things better if we never learned how to do them wrong first.
Time for donators. Sarah Jane, you are awesome. Thank you so much for your donation. These donations really help us out a lot. We're going to be able to make so much more videos because of you guys that have contributed. And another shout out, Corey, wanted to say thank you so much for all that you've given, and a very special something will be on its way to you very soon for how much you've helped us out. You both are awesome. Thank you so much. Lots of love.
It's thundering, and we're trying to do stuff, but the cat needs comfort. Oh.
There's the kitten behind me.
No, she's panicked. She just heard thunder and was like, run for mommy. Out into the cold, cruel world.
Mostly cold. It's not supposed to get above freezing for a couple of days.
What is it right now, like 18 degrees? Yeah.
I don't want to do this. I have to check the mail.
It's super windy. Blustering. It didn't see. It's not that windy right now. So maybe if we go.
Alright, maybe if we run.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
It's so cold. She's loving the newspaper more than me, guys.
I can't help it. My hands froze.
Mine is too.
Your hand is frozen to the camera.
I cannot do anything. I'm freezing so bad.
Guys, he merged with the camera. He has become one with the camera. Okay, where are my warm furry animals? Animals! Come warm my frozen hands. Animal. Puppy, come here. Warm my hands.
He's just like, okay.
Warm my hands.
He's like,
with your fuzzy warm. Look, he's even shivering. He's like, that's cold, mommy.
You're like, that's not okay.
That's cold, even in my fur.
No.
Warm my hands. Be a good minion. Good fur minion.
He's just like, okay.
Good job.
He's like, I love you.
Yes, lick my face with your warm tongue. It's cold out. Can you, is your hand frozen to the camera?
It is. No.
Okay.
It's frozen to the camera. Wait. Ow. Ow.
It's frozen in the vlogging position.
Ow.
It will not move from the vlogging position. Your camera, or your hand is forever stuck in camera mode.
Hand. Ow.
You look like you're making a very avid point, like ha 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 ha.
I'm freezing. Done. Cold.
I'm
going outside again.
Gonna go curl up in your Death Note blanket now.
I'll go.
It's like a giant L face on your butt.
That's where his face belongs.
Toasty warm. And light creeping around your shoulder.
So I finally have a cosplay done that I have been wanting to get done for a while, that somebody has created, and I really fell in love with their art design and their character design. So I decided to cosplay him, which means really long wig, extravagant makeup, and some pole dancing. Then I got Kevin.
Hi.
Super cute.
I'm the Strex kitten.
You're something, alright.
Adorable.
Exactly.
I hope, is what you were insinuating.
I feel pretty. Oh, so pretty. I feel pretty and witty and
so sparkly.
So sparkly. Yeah.
These started out as impromptu rave cosplays, and we ended up loving them far too much to keep them just for one rave at one con.
We amped them up a little to be better than our rave ones, because our rave ones were designed to be destroyed at a rave of too much dancing.
So now there's this, and all this fun makeup. I honestly am a junkie of the makeup. I love doing the makeup. It's fun.
I don't.
He hates it.
I absolutely
So much makeup.
I don't really know how to do makeup. All that I know about makeup is pretty much from just learning as I went for Ritsuka and other cosplays that I had before Homestuck. And now this! Night Veil. Hey you.
Yep. Thank you, Caro, Goddess in Green, for letting us cosplay your characters. You are amazing, and I have absolutely the most fun as Kevin.
It's true. She's non-stop happy in Kevin. Very happy in Kevin. And it's also helping her want to learn pole a lot more. And you're getting a lot stronger.
Getting stronger, a lot more body confident. It's fun. I like this character a lot. He makes me happy.
So thank you for him.
Thank you so much, Caro.
Always sewing away.
I know, right?
I feel like this is just a thing that I'm so used to seeing you do. Just sitting somewhere and sewing.
I'm sewing a piggy.
A piggy.
A piggy.
A piggy.
Piggy named Hans.
That's cute.
Little chubby piggy.
No.
So right now I'm making the ball for the head, and when I finish it's probably going to look more like Kirby than it will a piggy at first. It's a pink ball. I think it still amazes me how when you're sewing anything from a pattern, how all these random weird shapes become something three-dimensional. Like,
yeah.
That still baffles me, how it always starts out as just a bunch of weird oblong shapes and squares and circles, and you're like, how is this supposed to make a pig? And then
yeah, because right now I'd be like, oh, that looks like flower petals.
Flower petals, yeah. Gigantic sakura blossoms.
Magical!
Bishoujo times 10.
Senpai noticed you tenfold. Wow.
Do the cute little leaf on my forehead thing. Do it. Do it.
Oh, let me get that for you.
Oh my!
Hey guys, wanted to inform you that we do have our new series out. It is called Cosplay Basics, or Cosplay Basics, however you pronounce it. I learned it from Japanese friends way before I even knew what it was all about. I knew people dressed up. That was about all I knew, and then my Japanese friends pronounced it cosplay, and my Japanese teacher did too. And then I started going to cons and everybody was calling it cosplay, but it's a habitual habit that I haven't been able to break. But either way, it's nerds dressing up in costume, which is like me. I'm a nerd that dresses up in a costume and goes to cons, which is awesome. We've been asked so many times, 3 years on YouTube for this channel, about basic cosplay advice, wig care, outfit care, all that sort of stuff. We've been wanting to answer these things a lot more in depth with you all and a lot more personally. So what we've decided to do is make this series. KE wants to share as much as she has learned. She's pretty new still to cosplay, believe it or not. And we want to be able to share these things with you because we believe anybody and everybody can do this. And we believe that there's a lot of beneficial factors to it in learning and confidence building. So we want to be able to be there for you all and teach you just what we've learned along our ways. Our first episode is up. We're super excited. It's about selecting a character. KE did a fantastic job. I'm very proud of her. She's not had public speaking, guys, so very, very proud of her. That because sitting in front of a camera is not easy. So give her a huge thumbs up, a round of applause that she was able to do this. We're so proud of her. We're also very proud of her for how far she's come in such a short time of being in this community. Also, I need to brag on you all. You guys, the commenters, are the sweetest people. This is what the cosplay community should look like, and it does with you all, and we're so thankful to see this. The support in the loving comments that we have been seeing of somebody who's like, you know, I don't feel like I should be this character, I'm a little blank, like we've heard, I'm too short, I'm too this, I'm too that. And the supportive comments coming from you guys of, no dude, you can do this. You should be this character. You'll look awesome. You can do it. That support is beyond amazing. That's what the cosplay community should look like, and it does because of you all, and I'm so thankful to see that. Give yourself a pat on the back. You're amazing. Really just wanted to brag on you, so thank you all. We hope that we can get some more cosplay videos out really soon and get this series rolling and continue with the vlogs. So lots to do, lots of things to get for 2015 done, but we're excited and we're excited to have you along the way. So thank you all. Bye.
So start of another year and working on these new cosplay tutorial videos has made us all start talking a lot about, like, the first cons we ever went to.
Yeah.
Dude.
First con experiences and what we didn't realize about wearing a costume at home versus wearing it out in the universe of the world.
Well, and not really thinking about it, my first cosplay ever was an OC. First thing I ever did is I thought, like, I'm gonna dress up as an anime character. Not as a character from an anime, but just as an anime character, which means I need blue hair, I need kitty ears, I need a giant mallet, and I need a schoolgirl outfit.
What was with the giant mallet? Like,
cause, I don't know, like,
every typical
was, like,
anime girl has a ginormous...
Yeah, because they pull it out of Hammer Space. Yes, yes, Hammer Space, friends. It was the weebiest thing I could have done at the time.
Aw, there's nothing wrong with it. It was actually really cute.
It's just, yeah. I had the...
You didn't realize that you could actually be a character from an anime?
Right, I didn't realize you could be someone specific. I thought you had to just, like, oh, everybody's going to be in various types of sailor suits and, you know, something that's anime looking, and that's cosplay right there, and that's what you do. And
I think that does happen because if you look at a lot of American Comic Cons as your first example, it's 30 bajillion different Star Trek suits, but not a specific character, just I'm wearing a red Star Trek suit.
Or people are in there, like, as their OCs, because
Stormtrooper.
I think I was
seen somebody just generic Stormtrooper.
I also think, like, there's a part of American culture that's very much like, you don't copy off of other people's stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not considered a compliment to copy off of somebody else's stuff. So there's, like, that kind of, oh, well, I need to be my own character. If I show up to this thing, I can't just be somebody else's character. That'd be copying.
Yeah.
When cosplay's a whole different, you know, matter. It's actually, you know, complimentary and flattering to be somebody else's character. Back then, I didn't know that, and I thought, you know, you just try to get as anime as possible. Plus, the magazines I read and stuff, I didn't know any of the animes that I was looking at.
Yeah.
So I'd see a girl, and she was actually a schoolgirl from an anime, but I thought she was generic schoolgirl number 6. I didn't know what any of it was, so.
Yeah.
Back to the most basic of anime type thing I could think of. I bought a blue costume shop wig. Bob cut.
No!
Kitty ears. And ran around with a mallet that said kawaii kawaii on it.
Oh no, you did the thing! Oh no. How old were you though? Give yourself some credit. How old were you?
I was...
It was your very, very first one. Very first con.
I was 15.
It's not bad. This world, it's just whenever you get into it and you start learning.
Well, yeah, and that's another thing. It's
about
kind of,
the community. And
it's kind of a lot about how much you knew about it when you first started. Because everybody starting out doesn't know half as much as they do later on. But I went to my first convention with my dad. So it was one of those of, like, you gotta watch yourself, and you know things that your parents don't understand. So if you go grab this artwork and you're like, yes, I need this thing, your parents will be like, why are those two boys hugging on each other? Like, oh, you don't get this. So yeah, that was a little odd for me.
I think the weirdest thing about con for me was my first time going, and the most anime stuff I'd seen in one room was at Suncoast. Anybody remember Suncoast? Anybody remember Suncoast? I loved Suncoast. Suncoast was my world. Or Hot Topic.
So you're used to seeing like one shelf of figurines and like 3 options of t-shirts of the current most popular anime.
Exactly.
And none of them very clever.
So then I walked into a con and I was like, oh my god, you can buy t-shirts with a ship on it? No way! You can't get that in the stores, and I freaked out. And I know that seems weird because most people assume, yeah, you're going to an anime con, there's gonna be a lot of anime merchandise. I didn't know, my first con, and I freaked out. I was like, oh my god, I can get my ship! And there were so many things.
You could actually get that one obscure character that you really love but nobody seems to understand.
Yes.
And like, oh wow, they actually have this character, whereas at Hot Topic it's like, they have Inuyasha shirts. It's just a picture of Inuyasha.
Yeah. Where's Shippo? No, you don't get Shippo.
No Shippo.
Nobody likes Shippo, apparently.
Only images of Inuyasha himself. You get to an anime con, your first con, and you're just like, holy crap, they have 3 different sizes of Shippo? What am I going to do? And you spend entirely too much money.
Yeah.
Your first con, you want to blow your money on everything.
Oh my god. I didn't even know what an artist alley was. I had no idea. And so, yeah, I walk into the artist alley and I'm seeing like these things that I'd seen on DA that I envied, and here the person is. And I'm just like,
tears stream down your face.
I favorited every one of your pictures.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I can buy one.
God, my first finding Sora Riku stuff ever. And I shipped it when I was playing the game.
Who didn't ship that when they were playing the game? I shipped it playing the game, and I wasn't even, like, I didn't even know what yaoi was.
I know, same. I wasn't like, at all like a yaoi person then.
These two need to be together.
Exactly, I was like, there's so much sexual tension here.
I don't know, it was really weird for me, because I, like...
You could cut the sexual tension with a keyblade, like... It was bad, and so, yeah, actually seeing, like, whoa, people actually draw these two together, and the artwork looks like it's canon. Yes. Like, this could be off of the cover, but somebody just drew this. And going up to the booths and being like, you drew this? Yeah. After having an artist alley table of my own, I realized that's, like, the most simplistic, common thing, but my first con, I totally did. I was like, did you draw this? Did you draw that too? Oh my god!
Another first con mistake. I didn't know people would ask you for a picture if you were wearing a costume.
Oh yeah.
I actually did not know that was a thing. So all of a sudden, I walk in and somebody's like, can I have your picture? And I'm like, why?
You're like, who are you? Why are you creeping on me?
What'll this be used for? I didn't know that was actual, just normal for a con until I started walking around more, and then every single person is just like, can I have a picture? Can you get a picture over here? Can you get a picture of me and my friend? And I'm like, oh, pictures are a thing?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't know why that was such a shock to me, but I didn't realize that pictures were taken so much. Granted, this was still... I'm gonna date myself. This was still whenever there wasn't a lot of social media sites where you could share pictures easily. There was nice photo bucket, but you had to know what you were specifically looking for.
You had to get like a link from one of your buddies to go find their album.
People really didn't post pictures on DeviantArt because they'd get bashed for this isn't artsy if it's just a con picture. So I really had not ever seen con pictures. I'd seen professional looking cosplay photo shoots at a very nice designated area, but never just in a con hall.
I knew about the pictures thing. I went to my first convention knowing that I wanted to take pictures. I want to know if anybody else did this. Did anybody else play Gotta Catch 'Em All with the cosplayers one of their first couple of cons? Like, when you realized you wanted to take pictures of people, like, you were like, okay, I've got my camera in hand, and I'm going to take a picture of every single Vash that I find. And you're, like, seeking out, like, a specific character, and you're like, God, I hope I see one of these, because I want a picture of him. And I had, like... My photo album from the first con I ever went to has probably 200 or 300 pictures in it. Just because I went and I just took picture after picture. I was like hunting for characters that I knew. And I took a picture of every character I knew. Regardless of like what other characters were with them or cosplay quality or anything. I'm like, I need this character. And I would chase people down like, oh my god, I haven't seen a Riku yet at this con. Come here, come here, come here, come here.
Oh, that's so cute.
I played Gotta Catch 'Em All with the cosplayers, man.
Dude, one of my very first cons was AX out in LA, California. And that's a really, really big con.
Dude.
I didn't have a camera with me. I had my phone. Woohoo! Everybody, I wanted pictures. I was like, holy cow, how did they make that? I need a picture of them. And then with my really low quality camera phone, that was a slider phone.
You used to have a slide phone. You didn't even have like an iPhone or anything.
No,
it was like a...
I had that crappy little slide phone. I'm aging myself again. That was a high quality phone. And I got on DeviantArt after the con and saw like 30 bajillion nice photos of that character.
And that's the moment that you decide, well, I'm just going, if I don't have a good enough camera with me, I'm just gonna rip off other people's pictures.
I'm just gonna save it and be like, I saw this person! Look! I didn't know what photo shoots at cons were either. My very first photo shoot at a con that I witnessed was a Hitalia one. I had no idea what they were doing. They all were gathered and I was like, wow, all the Italians found each other. Isn't that special? And then all of a sudden they're like calling up, all Americas! And I'm like, what? And like all the Americans run up and they're doing these fun little poses and everybody's taking pictures. And then they were like, now ships with America, England and America and all this. And I'm just sitting there going, this is a thing? Holy cow, sign me up. Yeah, it's its own community. That's something that I found really odd. I didn't realize just how tight-knit of a community it could be.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. That's
anime community. People cosplaying from animes had their own communities, whereas Marvel comic cosplayers had their own community. It's its own community within communities. And it was so strange. Like, try to figure it all out.
Understanding how panels work at your first con.
I had no idea what a panel meant. I was like, what do you mean a panel?
I'm like, what is this schedule for? There's things that go on at these I thought it was honestly just a thing where you, like, got together, dressed up, and shopped. I didn't realize that panels were
I didn't even know shopping was a thing. I thought it was just like chess club and everybody kind of gets together and talks about chess. You know? I thought it was like anime club at school times more people. I didn't know they had voice actors come. That was another thing.
Yeah.
I was like, holy cow, this guy voiced a lot of the characters I love. Especially going to AX and they flew in people from Japan. And I'm gonna weeb myself a bit, but I learned Japanese specifically because of anime. And then I wanted to go to Japan, like, afterward, because then I finally was like, my Japanese teacher was like, that's not the only reason why you can learn Japanese. I'm gonna teach you the culture. Because I learned nothing but Chinese culture, and I thought I was gonna go to China. I actually had a plan to go to China in my life. And then my Japanese teacher was like, no, you're not learning Japanese just because of anime. Allow me to teach you the culture, because, you know, he'd been in Japan for so many years and whatnot. He's like, no, you gotta learn. And then I really respected the culture, really wanted to go to Japan. He was gonna take me to Japan. Life was gonna be splendid. So then to have this Japanese man who voices so many characters that I love, he voiced Sobi from Loveless.
Ooh.
My favorite anime.
Oh, that's cool.
And his voice is phenomenal. I got to see him and I teared up. I was like, this is a moment I never thought would happen. It was a cool moment, and I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't also know that you could, like, learn things at conventions. So, like, imagine my joy when I realized I could actually go to a drawing panel and learn how to draw a specific thing.
Aww.
Like, I had no idea you could go and learn things at cons, and I was like, oh my god!
I still don't think I knew that.
I think the best...
go to a drawing panel?
Yeah.
Like, they show you how to draw it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Cons. So there are some panels that, like, help
That's
you
so
with
cool.
comic paneling and, like, how to arrange things, how to arrange scenes and perspectives and all
I've been
sorts
to
of
so
things.
many cons and I didn't know that.
You're not
Dude.
much of a panel person, though.
Oh yeah,
so.
but still, dude, I actually didn't know that. I thought a lot of the panels were just like tips and tricks or in-character panels.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could like learn something about drawing. Dude.
I think the best part about, like, first con, though, is that kind of, that realization you start to get that, oh my god, I'm not alone.
Yes.
I'm not the only person that likes this stuff as much as I do. Like, you get all sorts of crap before your first con of, like, you're really obsessed with this stuff, or it's taking over your life, or you like this way too much. That's not normal. And then you go to a con and you're just like, everybody else here is like me. They liked this stuff enough to pay this money and get dressed up and show up and know all this knowledge and actually have kind of a status for knowing knowledge about animes, which everybody else in my normal life thinks is pointless, and here it matters and people actually care and they want to hear my opinions, and that just like, I'm finally home, and you just want to scream at your first con like, I'm home!
Aww.
I still get that feeling when I first pull up to a convention. The first couple of cosplayers I see when I drive into a downtown district and I'm trying to find a parking spot and I see cosplayers walk by and I'm just like, I'm home.
Honey, I'm home.
I'm home. I'm where I belong. My people.
That's so awesome.
That's the best part of it.
Back in my day, let's age myself again.
Oh.
Parents used to always say, how can you remember 150 Pokemon name and you can't remember the periodic table?
Yeah. It's nice to go to a place where that kind of understanding and that knowledge is valued. Yeah. Over just being overlooked, like, oh, well, this could never help you in real life, so why do you like it? Or, you know, people who understand that it takes talent and skill to write fan fiction or to write detailed role plays. Like, you're running into an entire group of people that know that that does take time, talent, and skill.
Learning how to write, that's something that I've noticed is this generation of cosplayers actually have the best advantage of they all learn how to write from young ages, because it's something that they want to write about, so they learn how to form an entire story. They also learn how to sew. That's something you don't see with majority of people anymore. You don't see the young generation knowing how to sew. They're like, no, my grandma sews. Yeah. And instead, cosplayers are like, I know how to sew, and I know how to sew this, and I've been sewing for 30 hours straight. And but you don't see that anymore. And yet this community supports learning like that. They support what schools took out was home ec, and all you really learned in home ec was how to make a pillow. Yeah. And yet you learn how to make this intricate anime skirt that can't really happen in real life without a lot of weird stuff put into it. And yet you learn how to do it. Like, I'm sorry, anime skirts sometimes don't make sense to me, like the giant hoops and whatnot that you gotta put into it to make it actually look that way in real life. Yeah. I'm just like, dude, you have a cage on your ass. What is this, Victorian era? And they're like, no, it's not Victorian era. And I'm like, but you have a cage on your ass. And we're making drawings which are completely unrealistic become realistic.
Yeah, you're defying physics through special effects, essentially. Yeah. The kind of craftsmanship that was only seen on people who worked on movie sets is now common knowledge among a group of teenagers, which is awesome. Like, I started it when I was a teenager and learning things that people that go through film school learn. Yeah, this is so cool.
I commend people who go to a con thinking that they're just gonna sit on the wall and watch the con happen. And then I commend them when they actually get off the wall.
Find themselves engaged and not being able to help being engaged. You're just like, okay, wow, this is a lot more worth it than I thought it would be to come out of my shell a little bit.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I had never been to an Oklahoma con. I had nobody to go with. and I was very nervous, and I just assumed I would sit on the wall and just watch it all go on. And then I ended up meeting KR. Very first Oklahoma Con, and I expected I'm going to hate this because I'm by myself. I don't know any of these people. Yes, we live in the same state. That doesn't mean we know each other. I didn't know that I would make a friend that day. That I still have to this day. And that was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Con friends are eternal, man. You make friends at con, you find people who have actual common interest with you, which is great. That was something else that surprised me going to my first one, was the fact that I met so many people who genuinely had a large number of common interests with me. Not that we just, well, we both happen to like My Chemical Romance, we don't really have any other bands in common. No, we're talking like, they know every anime I know, they've seen every show that I've seen, and no, that was a really good, surprising, and great experience. Especially, I grew up homeschooled. I grew up without anybody else my age or my interest group at all. Really, and then going to a con, it was pretty amazing to find other like-minded people.
I just felt like, yay, finally, I'm not the only weirdo, basically.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I was homeschooled, but I was put in a lot of different groups and whatnot, and none of the people had the same interests as me. I was kind of the outcast in every group that I was put in.
Shout out to people that got sent to scouts and didn't get along with everybody there.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like, I don't have
similar stuff to that. Yeah. I didn't have any of the same common interests. I actually hadn't heard of half the movie actors that they had the hots for. I really didn't know much, and yet because I was learning about Japan, and I was learning about anime, and we still don't have the same interests.
The other kids are just like, oh yeah, Brad Pitt, and I'm over here like, yeah, Kurama.
Yeah. And you feel really outcasted by that, and then you go to a con and you find out you have a crush on the same character as me.
Yeah.
Although the shell shock, after a con, like, before the con you get culture shock the second you walk in, and then you walk out of the con, and you walk back into the real world, and then it's culture shock again.
Oh, I know. God, coming down off of the first con, coming back to reality, and
you want to talk anime with a guy, and they just look over at you like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Or you're looking for characters in everybody.
Yeah.
Although, one really interesting experience, coming back to the culture shock after con, like I said, I was raised homeschooled. So I wasn't exposed to a lot of different types of people. I was edgy and nervous walking into places like Hot Topic. I was raised around a lot of very quote-unquote normal, average people, and I was never really around teenagers or anybody with an alternative lifestyle or alternative style of dressing or anything like that. And after going to my first convention and seeing a bunch of people in really wild costumes and really strange, to me, things, then going back to the real world, the first time I went in Hot Topic and one of the cashiers had, a shirt with buckles all over it and gauges and tattoos and weird contact lenses, and it stopped spooking me as a kid. And we're talking, I was, 15 years old. It stopped making me nervous. It stopped scaring me because I started to see the human behind any sort of outfit or costume. Like, I had seen so many people in costume to come to find out that they were just normal people, just like me. And then seeing somebody who has a very wild sense of style and realizing that's not scary either. That something somebody was wearing couldn't really scare me because they were just the same as anybody else underneath makeup, hairstyles, or any other thing that sets you apart from other people.
It's a fun learning experience. I love cons, and they challenge you, and they break you out of your bubble.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing for me to be able to talk to people online, it's another thing for me to talk to them face to face. And I really like the fact that it challenges me to actually go talk to people face to face. Love cons. Yay, cons! Let's go to cons forever.
I know, right? You're making me want to go to a con.
Soon.
Making me
Summer.
want it to be con season already, but don't actually want it to be con season already.
I'm not prepared!
I'm not prepared.
Booty, 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 get everywhere. Hey everyone, I am answering questions about first con experiences. And I have LGRU here. And she's gonna help. I'm gonna be interviewed. Fancy.
All the questions. Okay, first question. Who did you cosplay as and why?
I got into the cosplay scene late. Don't laugh at me.
As did I.
So I was Sakura Haruno, my first con. Still loved Naruto. It's something that I wanted to do for years. Many years, yes.
Not gonna lie.
It was a lot of fun. I got the cosplay from a friend. I hadn't any resources at all until that point.
Well, you already answered part of my next question of how long did it take? Where was the con located? Was it a local con, an out-of-state thing, or did you just happen to hear about it on the web and was like, I want to go there?
Read about it on the web, and I was like, hey, I can actually travel to it. It was a local, kind of small con.
How old were you when you attended this con?
Oh god, 20. 20, I think. 19 or 20.
Who did you meet, and do you still keep in touch with any of your first con friends?
I met a lot of people. It was kind of overwhelming, the amount of people that I met, because I'd never been to a con before, more than 1 hour visiting an artist alley. So I met a bunch of people. A lot of Naruto people were there, because it was still really big at the time.
At its peak and
It was.
whatnot. Yeah, I remember.
So I met lots of them. There's a few that I still am close friends with. One of them was a Naruto cosplayer. We connected immediately, and we still hang out at cons.
What would you do differently about this cosplay or the con or just anything else that you did while you were there?
That con went pretty well. I didn't have any major problems. The costume, it gave me a lot of issues. It was...
When do cosplays not give you issues?
Yeah.
Like, that is like Murphy's Law of cosplay, just issues and more issues and...
Yep. I would probably like to redo Sakura again, because I still love her as a character, and I still want to cosplay Naruto eventually again. And yeah, I just want to improve on Sakura's outfit, kind of redo the whole thing, because I didn't really get to make it or choose it, you know. It was really kind of a friend to give me.
Yeah. Would you want to hand make it next time versus acquiring it via somebody else?
I'd probably use the base that I still have, change the coloring, and accessorize it a bit better. But it was my first wig, and I still love that. I think you're always attached to the first wig that you get.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Oh god dang, that hurt! What advice would you give to first-time con goers? Like what to expect, what not to expect, and just general con etiquette, you know, interacting with other people, other cosplayers, or, you know, celebrities of like the cosplay world or voice actors.
We've covered quite a bit of this before, but I think it can always be reiterated and expanded upon. Be prepared. Do your research about the con location. Know what's going to be around it and what's not going to be around it. Know whether it's a safe area or not. Look up the crime rates, everything like that. Never, ever walk alone outside.
No.
Even in con, try not to. I mean, I'm older and I still buddy up most of the time. Especially late at night.
Late at night is when you have to worry the most, and definitely enforce the buddy system, in my opinion.
And most cons are pretty well staffed with security, but still, be sure to watch out for yourself. You don't know, even though it seems like a fun, friendly environment, you don't know. So just take precautions and kind of know your surroundings and be attentive. And if anything seems off to you, follow your gut. And always take things, even if you don't think you'll need them, bring them. Like things to repair your cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
And just prepare ahead of time. Make lists. For example, I can't believe I'm telling this story. One time, I packed my whole cosplay. I was super excited. It was going to be my main cosplay for this con. And it was Kita Masaomi from Do-da-da. Do-da-da-da. Okay, sorry. I could not do it.
I think that's like a fandom thing. Like, you just do it more than necessary.
Yeah. Anyway, it was Kita Masaomi, and I left my wig at home. I thought I had put it in with the other wigs because it wasn't where I had set it out. I was like, yeah, I must have packed it. It fell behind something, shelf, and I wasn't Kita. God.
Oh, man. I have the spider.
Where? Here's a dead spider.
Oh. That's okay.
That is not a dead spider.
There's a live spider?
I think. Since you're here, I'm
going
to ask you questions. Oh no. So, your first con.
Oh gosh. Okay. It was like this local Phoenix convention, and we didn't even know about it until we were actually there, kind of thing. We were just eating across the street and we saw these cosplayers walk across, and we're like, oh my god, people are dressing up as anime characters? What is that? It was located in like downtown Phoenix area. We were eating at some random Mexican food place, and we ended up just walking like the vendor's hall. My first official con that I went to, I was 16, and I went to Anime Kaigi up in Flagstaff, which was, it's the first convention of the year for them. They had some really big name people like Yuri Lowenthal. They had Johnny Young Bosch and his band. We didn't even know it was Johnny Young Bosch and his band, and you know, my friend like 2 years later was like, oh my god, we could have gone. They were like a nobody at that point, and it was pretty good. It was a 3-day con, and I went for 3 days and took a friend with me. It was pretty good.
Who did you cosplay as?
Well, at the time, Hetalia was really popular, so I went as Hungary, and my friend went as female Austria. This was before the official, like, gender-bent characters came out, and my friend was pretty spot on with her cosplay of Austria at the time. And then I also did Nowaki from Jinjo Egoist, which that was pretty fun. Like, nobody knew who I was, and everybody knew who my friend was because she was Hiroki, and it was actually really well done, and for the span of like a 10-minute thing to put together. Yeah.
How long did it take you to put together your cosplay?
The Nowaki cosplay was rather simple. It was just like a simple turtleneck t-shirt, black pants, black shoes. I didn't even know about wigs at this point in time, so I had short hair. I ended up buying spray, that spray-in hairspray stuff, and I sprayed my hair, but what ended up happening was that it rubbed off on my face, and it made me look sick. Like, I was so deathly sick, like, all the black went under here, like, on the sides of my nose, on my cheeks, and it just looked like I was deathly ill for about 8 hours, and nobody told me. Hungary, on the other hand, I ordered hers, and it came late, so I had to put together just a, go to the, what is it called? Army supply store and just buy a green jumper and combat boots. They were jungle boots. So I put all that together in like 3 days.
Wow. So who did you meet there?
Nobody, surprisingly. We had this small group of people that were really big into Hetalia. I met a Hong Kong and a Taiwan, which they were super sweet, another Austria, and somebody being Czechoslovakia. I don't even know if they have a character for that in Hetalia now, but they were Czechoslovakia, and we just hung out outside for like 6 hours, and I don't really talk to them. I don't go on DeviantArt anymore, so...
What advice would you give to first-time con goers?
Like you had mentioned before, definitely research your cons. Research into supplies that you know you need to bring, and then stuff you might need to. Just from previous con experiences and just future ones, definitely bring, like KR said, you know, sewing supplies and just any other supplies that you think you might need, because chances are somebody's going to come ask you, like, hey, do you have a safety pin? Do you have Velcro straps? Do you have like a sewing needle?
I bring extra of all those things even if I don't use them.
Yeah, I think the weirdest thing I was asked is if I have an extra zipper for a cosplay. Bring not like lots of extra clothes, but like extra like toiletries and just, you know, personal items like underwear and socks, and if bras and extra binders if you need that. Just bring extra clothes, because at some point you're not going to want to be in cosplay anymore. Make sure you have money. That's a good one.
Yeah, bring cash, not just your card. Because I know that sometimes ATMs at con
don't work.
Yeah, they go out. They run out of money super quickly, and you don't want to have to walk and leave
the convention
center because you don't know the town and what it could be like out there, and you don't want to be hurt for money and not have food.
That, and if you're buying product on the con floor, like in the vendors hall or the artist alley, a lot of the artist alley folks, they don't really use cards. They don't have that square thing that you can swipe your card. A lot of them only take cash money, so definitely do that. And drink lots of water.
Yeah,
drink and eat often, even though you're going to be worried about getting your cosplay dirty. Definitely eat. It's going to save you lots of sugar crashes, lots of anxiety, and it definitely helps.
And what do you have to say about con etiquette?
Oh, con etiquette. The biggest thing is if a cosplayer is sitting down, 98% of the time, the reason they're sitting on the floor is because they're so tired and we can't grab chairs, you know, to sit at the tables. Just be really self-aware too with your surroundings. If you have big props, please pay attention to where you swing your props. A lot of the times if you have wings, you can't see past your wings. So definitely ensure the buddy system, so that way you can have, you know, a friend or, you know, other cosplayers around you to tell you, don't walk over there, you know, be careful while you turn. And just spatial awareness of people too. Some people aren't okay with physical touching. Some are okay. Definitely ask before you hug, glom, jump, anything. Just ask if you can even just, you know, ask if you can even just so much as, you know, shake their hand, because some people are really not okay with stuff like that. But the gist, like, if somebody's sitting on the floor, you know, with a group of friends, don't ask to take a picture, because chances are they're so tired they just want to sit down for like 5-10 minutes. Be aware of your surroundings. You know, be nice to people. Don't get mad if somebody tells you no. Just very
definitely
basic,
that
common.
one. If you ask for a picture and somebody says no, there could be many different reasons. They could be not doing so okay right at that moment. They could be hurting really badly. Their feet or their stomach hurts. They're just needing to rest. There could be reasons. It's not just like I don't want you to take a picture of me.
Yeah, don't take it personally. It's not on you. It's not your fault for asking. It's, as a cosplayer, if you're in a elaborate outfit, like if you're doing Attack on Titan or even CL from Black Butler, those shoes hurt.
Yeah.
Half the time we want to sit down just because our feet hurt so bad.
What would you do differently?
Pretty much everything. I would try to start my sewing skills early, because I don't have that. I don't have the patience nor the time for that. I wish I took more time and looked around and actually had fun versus like, oh my god, this is my first cosplay, I have to do the best I can. That was all that was going through my mind, but oh my god, nobody's gonna know who I am, nobody's gonna want to take a picture of me. I would just switch mentalities of, it's okay if nobody knows who you are, as long as you got your cosplay done and you feel accomplished. That's the only thing that matters.
And nobody starts out perfectly at con.
No. Not at all.
And one last thing that I have to say on this is, your first con, it's gonna be a lot of stimuli. Like, it's gonna be a lot of learning how everything works at con, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable.
You know, how to interact with people.
Yeah, it's a different environment, and you're gonna be really excited. It's gonna be your first con. You've probably been excited on going to one for a long time. You know, you've been planning it, but it's a lot to take in. It's a lot of different things going on all at once, and it's a whole different pace at con. It can be exhausting, so just be sure to take care of yourself and try to take care of your friends and have fun with it. Don't have it be like, this has to be the perfect weekend, because there will be more cons, and as you have experienced them, they'll get better each time.
Most definitely.
Thank you guys for joining us, and thank you for welcoming LGRU. She's been staying with me for a while, so yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.